Everybody, and welcome to your instructional video on ankle CARs, or controlled articular rotations. Now, a few general things about CARs that we always want to keep in mind. Number one, we never want to push into pain. So if you experience discomfort, it doesn't mean don't move the ankle. It just means make your workspace or your movement pattern a little bit smaller. Number two, we really want to focus on isolating the joint of interest. So in this case, the ankle means we want to make sure nothing's really happening at the knee, and we'll really pay attention to what happens at the shin bone. But we also want to watch what goes on with the toes. And if we start having toe movements involved, see if we can disassociate or isolate those. Lastly, we want to be sure to irradiate. So as we move during this video, we're going to take a breath, create light tension across the body, and try to really stabilize everything forcefully as we isolate at that ankle, moving it around. Now, when we talk about the ankle, there are various ways that the ankle can actually move. For most of us, we think about pulling the toes towards the shin, which is dorsiflexion. We think about maybe ballerina pointed feet, which is plantar flexion. We can then angle the foot. So if I were to angle my foot with the big toe coming towards the face, that's inversion, and then trying to angle it away with the little toe coming upwards would be eversion. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way through each of those areas. I'm going to show you what it will look like without irradiation one time on the right foot. Then we'll do it twice with irradiation, making 2 complete articulations on the right side, and then we'll do 2 complete articulations on the left side. So if we were going to do it without any irradiation, as I mentioned, we want to watch what happens above the ankle, which is going to be at the knee. So I want to make sure that I've kind of locked the knee or blocked it. One of the things that I like to do is really watch the shin bone. When we move the shin bone, we're rotating the knee. When we move the ankle, we want to try to keep that shin bone nice and stable as we move around through those different areas of ankle mobility. So to get started, I'm going to point the toes down in plantar flexion. I'm then going to slowly bring it up into inversion, over to dorsiflexion, to eversion, back down, change direction, bringing it up and around and back to our starting spot. So we're just going to do exactly that, but we're going to do it a little bit slower, and we're going to do it with a little bit of irradiation. So let's go ahead and get into our position. Take a breath. Pack air in the lower abdomen, work it down the body, so squeezing the rear end, tightening through things through the lower body, up the torso, really forcefully pointing the foot down. From here, keeping the shin bone stationary, I'm going to slowly move into inversion, bringing it up into dorsiflexion, pulling up towards the shin, taking it into eversion, back down, change direction, taking into eversion, watch the shin, up into dorsiflexion, over into inversion, back down, change direction. Last one on the right side, inversion, into dorsiflexion, into eversion, to plantar flexion, change direction, eversion, into dorsiflexion, into inversion, and down. Very good. Okay, we'll transition over to the left side. Same thing, we want to make sure that we're blocking the hip and really locking the knee, so watch what happens along the shin bone. We don't want to see shin tissue or tibial rotation taking place. So from here, take a breath, pack air in the lower abdomen, work it down the body to the toes, up the torso, really pointing the foot downwards. Again, watch that shin bone as you move. From here, we're going to slowly go from plantar flexion to inversion, up into dorsiflexion, over to eversion, back down, change direction, eversion, to dorsiflexion, to inversion, back down, last time, inversion, to dorsiflexion, to eversion, back to plantar flexion, change direction, eversion, to dorsiflexion, to inversion, and down. Very good, everybody. So having healthy ankle joints is really important, right? They are our connection to the world around us when it comes to mobility in general. So we want to make sure that things move well here. They also oftentimes are one of the primary limiting factors when we try to squat. It's not so much what happens at the hips, it is sometimes, or what happens at the knees, it is sometimes, But many people become very limited when it comes to ankle dorsiflexion in particular. So we want to make sure that we continue to move the joints, really trying to establish healthy tissue along the outermost edges so that we can get out and live our biggest lives. Now, if you have any questions about ankle cars, don't hesitate to reach out. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you soon.